Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Shanker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
All right. Go ahead, Jacob.
The Lakers won! Let's go! Oh my God. You have no idea how happy I am to see LeBron James with that chip once again in his hands. It's been 4 years, and 4 years is way too long. So all I gotta say is I'm happy. But
Yeah,
they
I don't remember it taking MJ 4 years to get another title. I think it was 3 consecutive years, 2 times in a row.
Every 3 consecutive years. Okay. He also had better teams and a lot of them, but okay. So we're not gonna get into that now though, because we know how that's gonna end.
Soon.
But
It's very soon.
I gotta say though, in this series, I have a lot of more respect for Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, and just all the players on the Heat as a whole. I have a lot more respect for them, even though they lost, and even though Jimmy Butler didn't play as effective as he did in just the rest of the series. I still think that I have a lot more respect for him for how he's been playing, his integrity and his toughness throughout the whole entire series. He just didn't let go. He sat down for 48 seconds in game 5. That's insane.
That's
But
pretty freaking crazy.
even though I didn't like the ending of game 5 and I wasn't particularly happy with that game, I want to hear your reactions on that game, Andrew.
Well, I'll say it. Danny Green, prayers out to you. I don't think that
No,
the Lakers care that you have 2 years in a row, 2 championships. I think they're very disappointed that you missed that shot. Um, I'm sorry, and it was really messed up because his wife was getting death threats, or his fiance.
yeah, that's crazy.
Messed up,
It is really messed up.
but it stuff happens and it kind of sucks. But when I saw that shot go up, I'm like, there's no way he's making that. There's no way he's making that. And then I see Markeith Morris, and then I'm like,
Yep.
give it to LeBron, give it to LeBron, give it to LeBron, and he lobs it up to AD, and it's just terrible pass. So
I was completely screaming when Danny Green missed that shot.
I remember the text that you sent me after that.
Yes.
It was rough.
Andrew and all my friends know how heated I got.
He was very
I
upset.
I blocked Andrew for like a couple hours,
He
and then
left
I
our
just
group
sent him
conference.
a
He left
bunch
our
of
group
text
chat.
messages telling him about the game. So and then we were chilling. But I mean, that game, LeBron, AD, phenomenal. Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, phenomenal. I just think overall the Heat were just playing better basketball. It wasn't the fact that AD and LeBron, they played really well. They had really good numbers. They played really great basketball. The Lakers as a whole just could not finish. They couldn't get it in the right places. Nobody could guard Duncan Robinson or Jimmy Butler. They were able to stop Bam Adebayo, but that was mostly because it was his first game off injury. So that explains a lot of it. But I think really that it was just a letdown in that game, really towards the end, because you saw them starting to do a lot better towards the end. In that fourth quarter, LeBron, AD, everyone else started to do well, and it was really, really close. It was really close in the end. Like it got down to free throws with Jimmy Butler, and then just couldn't finish. Danny Green couldn't finish. Markieff Morris just could not get it out to AD, which I don't know why he would if LeBron was wide open. But it was a disappointing game. But that game got me a lot more respect for Jimmy Butler for the way that he played and the toughness and the love he has for the game. So respect for my man. Danny Green, work on your shot. But
I just opened the NBA tab on Google, and I just got purple and gold fireworks.
yes, sir.
Props
Yes,
to
sir. That's what we like. That's what
props
we
to
like.
Jimmy. They did phenomenal, and Jimmy Butler earned my respect. I hated him when he left Minnesota because I loved Andrew Wiggins, but great job to Jimmy. Hopefully they can. They probably won't be able to get back to the finals, but we'll see. Especially with KD coming back.
Oh
I think
yeah.
that I think I
I think
think
if they can make some moves,
yeah.
like this free agency isn't going to be as good as probably next year, but I think if they can make some good trades,
I'm
get
calling
some
it.
players off.
I'm calling it Anthony Davis to Chicago.
Anthony Davis to Chicago. Yes, that's going to happen.
Let's go.
That's going to happen. That's yeah. All right,
For
let's.
Chicago, it's time to be a Bulls fan again.
You're gonna be
Let's
able
go
to
to
sign
game six.
bandwagon, bandwagon.
Let's go to game six. All right.
Yeah. Game
Final.
6
Yep.
today.
Final score. 13 points differential. It was a letdown for the Heat in the first half. They scored 46 points in the first quarters,
Just
and
let down the whole game.
yeah, well, the fourth quarter
Flat out.
they started doing well, and
Yeah, but that's mostly because LeBron and AD were taken out of the game.
no, they played in the third quarter.
No, fourth. You said fourth quarter, no?
Yeah, I did say fourth quarter, but they started playing good in the third quarter too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but still, it wasn't enough. They were not playing as efficient. Their top scorer was Bam Adebayo. He was their best player in this game. They really couldn't stop anybody on that Lakers team. Nobody was able to be stopped. Everybody was just doing so well. They had one, two, three, four. They had five players that had double digits. Right? I mean, that shouldn't be happening. It should really just be LeBron and AD that can do that because the Heat have the defenders. They have the capacity to stop all those other guys. They just couldn't do it tonight.
Yeah, well, props to LeBron. He's still number 2 for me. Nothing's ever going to change that.
So you're telling me, because I remember you told me this, if LeBron can win two more rings and two more Finals MVPs,
2 more Finals MVPs.
he will
I
be
never said
better
2
than
more
LeBron.
rings. He has to be the best player on the team to get 2 more rings. He
Okay,
has to be
but
the best player on the team when he gets his 2 rings to become the GOAT. Because
why do
LeBron James-
rings matter if you're the GOAT? Because if you look at like Bill Russell, he has 11 rings, but we don't say he's the GOAT. We still think he's top 10. But
Michael
he's not
Jordan is better than LeBron James. I'm honest with you.
I'm honest with you.
Michael Jordan was so great. He shut down young Shaq, Hakeem Olajuwon. Oh my goodness. One of the greatest duos of all time, John Stockton and Karl Malone, couldn't get a championship because Michael Jordan was there.
And you know who also was there? Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
And one of the
Dennis
greatest
Rodman was there
coaches
for
of all
3 years.
time.
Listen to me. Who was there with LeBron? He lost with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Are you going to tell me that he's the GOAT? He scored 8 points.
2011, I can't argue with
Don't
you.
forget
It
about
was bad.
2007 too, and don't forget when he shot 34% on Kawhi Leonard in 2014.
But
And
who
he
was still the
also
best player in that series? LeBron.
okay.
LeBron
No,
led in
he
almost
was
every
not the
single
best player in the
category.
series. It was Kawhi because
LeBron
Kawhi
led
won.
in almost.
He won.
Okay.
If LeBron was the best player, he would have gotten. You know what?
It was not. Yeah, we can't.
Guys, we are going to have a LeBron James versus Michael Jordan GOAT special. I guarantee you, it will be more than 30 minutes.
We have to have a moderator, or we have to have a moderator, else it'll be like 6 hours. I'm not even kidding. I remember me and Andrew have been talking about this for hours on end, nonstop.
We can go on and on and on. And I think that even if we did have a 30-minute special, we wouldn't be able to get to our topics. Like 2 minutes of uninterrupted.
2 minutes. That would not happen.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Let's head on to the NFL before we use up all that time.
Exactly. All right, let's just talk about week 5 as there's been a couple upsets. There's been a couple injuries as Dak Prescott got injured, which I'm kind of upset about because he was on my fantasy team. But it was all right. Overall, it was a pretty interesting week. Let's start off with the Bears and Bucks game, which was one of the most interesting games as Tom Brady kind of screwed up that last play.
You think that was an upset?
I think it was because I think the Bucks had the chance to actually win it, and it was really Tom Brady is the reason they lost. Right? I mean, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what was going on with him. That was a complete mess. I mean, he didn't have that bad of a game. I think for me and what we've been seeing is I feel like he's not utilizing Mike Evans as much as he should be. Like, yeah, he's getting the touchdowns. That's great, but it's literally like the 1 yard, 2-yard line touchdowns. That's not what he's for. He's for those big plays. You need him for those big plays. And he's using like Gronk, Tyler Johnson, who got more receptions and well, not more receptions, but got more yardage than Mike Evans, and he's getting more attempts to those guys. And I really think that if they want to win more games, if they want to push themselves to the playoffs, they need to be using Mike Evans. And when Chris Godwin comes back, use Chris Godwin.
Yep.
So that was my take on the game.
Question.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that the Bears are 4-1?
Yes. Absolutely.
All right.
Well, with Nick Foles, not really, because he's really good. But I mean, when Mitchell Trubisky was there, yes, I was. I was very surprised.
All right.
So
Well, let's
all right,
let's go on to the next game. Jaguars Texans. Self-explanatory. The Texans, I think, were the better team. Deshaun Watson leading the way. 17 points in the fourth quarter. He did good.
yeah, there's not that much to say. It's the Jaguars. Not a very good team, so it's okay. But it is what it is. Let's go to the Ravens Bengals, who got absolutely destroyed, absolutely annihilated. So again, no surprises there.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, that defense, the Ravens defense. I mean, even though it was the Bengals and they don't have that great of an offense, but I still think, I mean, you got to give them props. They got that touchdown, those interceptions, the fumbles. They did everything today, and they were like the real reason. Well, one of the reasons that they were able to do so well. But what were your thoughts on that game?
Absolute blowout. Just terrible game to watch. Boring. The only reason I was following the game was because me and Jacob on fantasy face each other, and he has Mark Evans or
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews.
Yep.
Yeah.
You did good though. You did good.
Yeah, but Travis Kelsey did better. So that's why I'm beating him.
All right, buddy. It's Patrick Mahomes though. Okay.
Yeah. But it's also Lamar Jackson.
That's true, but Patrick Mahomes is a better passer than Lamar Jackson.
Yes, sir. By the way, very quick. Lamar Jackson has been such a fantasy bust this year. It is so horrible.
I don't think he's been a fantasy bust.
He's averaging less than 20.
Is he really? Oh,
That's a bust, right?
maybe.
Not bust, but definitely not up to expectations.
No, not up to expectations at all. Not at all. Let's go to the Panthers and Falcons game, which I thought that was a pretty decently big upset. I mean, I know the Falcons are 0-5 right now, and I mean, the Panthers didn't have Christian McCaffrey, their leading guy, their like main guy. And the Falcons honestly don't have a bad team. It's just I don't know what is going on with the coaching in the front office. Something is just not clicking and they're not able to make the right plays. They have the options. They have Matt Ryan, who's a top 10 quarterback. They have Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley, Russell Gage. They have all these guys, Hayden Hurst, Julio, who when he comes back and when he's healthy, I mean, they have a great offense. Their defense is fine. They just can't execute well.
That is absolute facts. Absolute facts. I think Matt Ryan definitely also could have had a better game, but Teddy Bridgewater for the Panthers did pretty good. So,
Yep.
Falcons 0-5, terrible. Especially because like the Falcons are just lead blowers. Leaf blowers? No, lead blowers. That was such a bad pun. But like
Nice.
yeah. Todd Gurley had a great game though.
Yep. He's great. All right, let's go to Raiders and Chiefs, which is probably one of the biggest upsets we've seen this season. I want to hear your take.
My take, my Google's taking a lot of love, but I was watching the game, and I gotta give it up to Derek Carr. He had one mistake the entire game, and that was his only interception. He was so good, and if he continues to play at this level, I can see Las Vegas getting a wild card or possibly even Probably the wild card. I think they're definitely good picks for the wild card. I think they'll do good. Josh Jacobs had a good game with the 2 rushing touchdowns, and it was just great for Las Vegas. But also, I got to say that Mahomes, Patty, had a pretty bad game. 22 of 43. That's not really. That's like
No.
only just above 50% completion. But Travis Kelsey, my man, great game. 8 receptions, 108 yards. He's been a beast as usual.
Yeah, you're pretty much right about everything you said, but for me, I think the Chiefs is this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of iffy and I'm not 100% all in on them winning the chip again, winning the Super Bowl. They something isn't clicking with them either. I don't know if it's Patrick Mahomes, if it's something else, if it's just because it was the Raiders and this was just a slip up, but it happened in the Chargers also when I was watching that game. They like Patrick Mahomes was just not able to complete and get the right passes to the right people when he should have or make the right plays. It's I hope it's not a big problem right now. I think it'll be fine down the road as they are 4-1 right now, but I think that's something you want to keep an eye on for right now, but great game by the Raiders. Great game. They have a great team and something if they don't make the playoffs this year or the wild card, definitely something to build upon.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to the next game, which is the Cardinals and Jets, which no surprises. Again, worst team in the NFL, the Jets. So sorry to all Jets fans, but it's true.
You should become a Giants fan, Jets fans.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just stop being a Giants hater. Just become the Giants fan already.
Hey,
End your torture.
the Giants have a chance at leading the NFC East as it's looking right now. As the leading ones are the Cowboys with 2 wins.
That's crazy.
Ugh, this is such
Kyler Murray.
such a bad division.
Ridiculous. Kyler Murray. It's looking like when I was watching the game, they were comparing him to Barry Sanders. And to be honest, it's a bit of a high expectation, but
Way too high.
yeah, but I completely understand why they compared him because Kyler Murray was a beast tonight. Absolute beast.
He's an all-around beast. I think the only thing he needs to work on is his awareness because he has been throwing a lot of interceptions, and that's something that he really needs to work on. But his connection with DeAndre Hopkins, especially even though it's only been 5 games, has been unreal.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins only got 6 catches and he went for 130 yards.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous.
He just knows where DeAndre Hopkins is going to be, where to get him, where to pass it to him, and make the right plays. And I think that's going to be great for them towards the end of the season. I think they're a bit iffy on if they're going to actually make the playoffs as they are in a tough division, but I think they definitely have a chance if they can play their cards right. If Kyler Murray can work on his interceptions, if um, DeAndre Hopkins can keep doing what he's doing, and if Kenyon Drake can actually do something, because he's been god awful. But that's besides the point.
Biggest fantasy bust.
Yeah, biggest one by far.
Too. He's just been awful.
Absolutely.
Let's head on to the Eagles Steelers game, which was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders being Miles Sanders, Carson Wentz being absolute trash. He got sacked 5 times.
That's
not really his fault, but it was still pretty bad, and he threw for
the O-line. It's the injuries. It's
yeah. I didn't see, but I heard that Fletcher Cox got injured. I wasn't sure, but that's what I heard. So that's even a bigger blow for the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, this season, I'm not saying it's going down the drain just yet because of the division they're in.
NFC
But
East.
yeah, I would not get their hopes up. That's what I gotta say. But I mean, once everybody can get healthy, I think they definitely have a chance. But that Cowboys offense is looking really good. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was a great win by the Steelers as their
Claypool, the rookie.
yeah
3 touchdowns.
it's, Ben Roethlisberger, so good again. I missed him. So good.
Yeah.
And the Steelers continue their undefeated streak, 4-0. All right, let's go to the LA Rams and Washington Redskins game.
It's actually the football team, not to be confused with your local football team.
I will continue to mess this up. Like, I'm sorry
Alex
to
Smith.
all. I'm sorry to all football team fans that I offended.
Alex Smith, welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely got welcomed back with 6 sacks. Yeah, but I
Not
think
good.
just to stop talking about football, I think it's absolutely crazy that he had one of the worst leg injuries I've ever seen. Obviously, today with Dak, Gordon Hayward in basketball, and I've seen. I didn't watch. I obviously wasn't watching the game. I wasn't really a football fan in 2018, but I see it back and I'm like, holy crap, he's never gonna play again. He plays today. That's ridiculous. Alex Smith,
Great.
props to you,
He's a,
man.
he's a great quarterback. I think he's going to be much better on the Redskins than Dwayne Haskins. He's just a better overall quarterback, and he has experience, which something Dwayne Haskins doesn't have. He's just not at that level yet. I think he has a couple more years before he can become a really good quarterback. Because I think Dwayne Haskins does have the potential. I think the Redskins also have the assets with Terry McLaurin, Chase Young, who is a beast when he's healthy. So they have things to build upon. All right. Now, probably the biggest upset of no, yeah, I don't know if it's the Raiders and Chiefs, but one of the biggest upsets. I know the 49ers are injured, but I want to say the Dolphins, wow.
Dolphins are
Wow.
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
That's
43 points on a great defense.
exactly how does that happen? The Fitz magic. That's how.
Jimmy G was trash.
Yeah.
Jimmy G.
Yeah.
His quarterback rating was 1.4.
That's so good. Oh my god.
Godly.
That
Just
was
awesome.
But he's back though. Raheem Mostert's back, who had a very good game as he got 90 yards.
Yep.
So that's good. That's all they need him to do. It's really not him the reason they lost. It's everybody else. It's really mostly that defense probably, but
Yeah.
still.
So let's move on to the next game, which is going to be the Giants Cowboys game. That was incredible.
Sad. Just sad.
It's sad and incredible. Like prayers up to Dak also. Another legend returns and another legend leaves.
Yep.
Alex Smith comes back. Dak leaves. Weird, isn't it?
It's a bit weird, but I hope Dak has a good recovery as he has been incredible so
Mhm.
far. I think he's arguably been a top 5 quarterback so far this season. I mean, he's just been phenomenal in every single game as he going up to this in week 5, he was the leader in passing yards.
He had a
He was,
500-yard passing game.
yeah, he was doing incredible on the rushing end, the passing end, being a much better leader as we've seen him been. I mean, I know they have not been. This is um, their first win, but well, sorry, their second win, but um, I mean, it's really their defense. The reason that they have not been able to win and they haven't been able to do as haven't been able to do better, which they can be doing better. So, but Giants, you had it. You're so close, and you had it. We didn't see that Danny Dimes magic. The I gotta say though, Daniel Jones. Me and Andrew were actually watching this game.
Danny Dimes.
At the end of the game, when well, it was a lot throughout the game. We see this a lot where the O line just cannot handle any defensive line, no matter which team it is. It can be the 49ers, it could be the Cowboys, it could be the Dolphins. They just cannot handle anybody, and that's sad. But Daniel Jones I can tell he's been trying really hard to try and not fumble the ball or not to get sacked. And he's been getting much better at it. He's been doing much better. He's become more aware and has shown that he's becoming a better quarterback.
I just want to say, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I am extremely disappointed in Andrew Thomas.
Should be.
Not have a great game.
You should be disappointed in yourself.
How dare you? How dare you? What's wrong with you?
Let's go on to the Browns and Colts game. Great overall game. I think the Colts defense could have done a bit better, but there's not that much to say about it.
Philip Rivers. Trash. Pretty
Yeah.
bad, Philip Rivers. What's wrong with you?
The Colts should not have gotten him. No, bad choice.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go on
Thank you,
to the final game of Sunday football. At least we're not going to be going over the Monday night or the Tuesday night football, as those will be happening on
Future.
this week in the future. But Seahawks and Vikings, Russell Wilson does it again every time.
DK Metcalf.
You want to talk about this game?
Of course, I want to talk about this game. We were gonna start filming the podcast, and then I'm like, no, we should probably wait until the game ends. I'm so happy I watched the end of that game.
That was
It
great.
was so good, and it was fourth down magic from Russell Wilson.
Absolutely.
Great. He rushed great. 5 carries, 58 yards, and obviously that DK Metcalf connection. DK Metcalf is so good. He's so good.
That offense is just unreal overall. They have everything, absolutely everything. There's nothing bad about it, and I think that's great. And that's the reason that why they have such a good chance at winning the Super Bowl. And it's mostly because of that MVP, Russell Wilson.
He's definitely my MVP.
Yep. That's all for today, everyone.
Feel free to comment down below what you thought about the NBA Finals, which I think my prediction's right, and also about Week 5 football.
Tune into the next episode on Friday. See you guys next time.
Peace.